pellets are not a new thing. In fact, I've been using pellets for the best part of 25 years now, but what you've got to remember is not all pellets are equal. And through my fish farming and through owning a bait company, it's given me the opportunity to look at these pellets in much more depth. Now, if you take the aquatic industry, then they are putting millions of pounds into these feeds, and particularly when you're at the juvenile stage. So when the carp are first born, they're on a live diet, eating lots of natural food, but then you've got to shift them very quickly over to a pellet-based diet, and that is where the industry focuses a lot of attention through attraction. Not only nutrition, they're very, very high spec, but attraction. So they're using a whole host of marine-derived and usually yeast-driven products to bring the carp from a very natural diet over to pellets, and this is where these pellets stand out. And I've been using these for a long, long time, and from what I've seen on paper and from visually seeing them, there's some that are just so special. So I was always going to bring out a pellet mix through Baitworks, and over the last 6 months I've been isolating these mixes that I've used on and off over the years to bring a blend of pellets which not only gives a huge nutritional profile but attraction as well, and that has led us to the formulation of the mix, which brings in a whole host of these pellets in micro form that break down very, very quickly. So the culmination of this was to bring a pellet mix to Baitworks, so we've now called this the Edge, and it's called the Edge for a very, very good reason. All of the observations have been done up the shelf in gin clear water, watching fish's reactions, and you can have a great bait on paper, but you have to physically see what's going on, and I find this is always the best way to test baits. So we've had literally fish coming right up the shelf, feeding in shallow water, and they've been almost involuntary feeding. So what that means is when they've come over a baited patch, they're dropping and feeding straight away, no hesitation. So these pellets don't need testing in essence, but I couldn't resist giving a few batches out to a few guys who work at Baitworks and a few close friends, and they've echoed what I've seen. The fish feeded a really, really strong response, so it's really pleasing to see that they're seeing the same reaction that I've seen. And of course, it's one thing having something on paper, but to see the reactions is absolutely gold dust, and the feedback we had was exceptional. So the Edge mix is a blend of micro pellets. Now these micro pellets all break down at slightly different times, all releasing lots and lots of attraction. And the beauty of a micro pellet is it crosses over perfectly for PVA bag use, spod mixes, or just simply going around and prepping a few spots. And because the micro pellet is that small, it goes down into sediment over weed, and it started to break down, giving loads and loads of attraction. Now we've got a dedicated hook bait, which is exactly the same as the micro mix, so it gives a lot of attraction with very, very little food, but loads of attraction, and having a small little hook bait in the vicinity is an absolute winner.
Well, the rod's been out 10 minutes, I've seen some fizzing in the edge, and I've lowered a solid bag of the micro pellet out, and this one's rattled off literally within 5 or 10 minutes.
So the Edge mix comes in a 1 and 5 kilo option, and I for one can't wait to release this onto the market. I'm really excited because I know this is going to put a load of carp on the bank.
Look at the bar of scales. Beautiful. Beautiful carp. Look at that. Lovely.